Hey, what is up, fellow Raiders? This is Vulcan Dan, and in today's Raid Shadowlands video, we will go through the expected, of course, times 10 shard event this weekend. But on top of that, we also have a guaranteed champion event. So it is a double shard or double summoning event this weekend. Now, before we get to that topic, I just want to say that, this has been my first time uploading again in a few days. It has been a difficult past few days, not only for myself, but for the whole world. It's been 2 years that we've been battling COVID. And of course, now we also have this additional problem with Russia and Ukraine. So wherever you are in the world right now, I hope you're all safe and healthy, whether it's from COVID or from any other thing. I don't really want to have all of these needless suffering. We all just want to live a happy life, have fun, be safe, be healthy. So it just makes me sad to have all of these problems that could have that could have been prevented. So we shouldn't have all of these bad things happening in the world. Hopefully, if you're playing Raid, which is why you're watching this video, that at least you have this one thing that would distract you from all of these problems that we are having in real life. All right. So yeah, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're safe, hope you're healthy, and stay happy. All right. So yeah, we have these two summoning events right here. Let me just show you the graphic to make it a lot easier. Yeah, so we have quite a few champions for the times 10. The theme right now is ally protection, which is a really great buff to have. Just remember that it is only a times 10 event. It's not a times 2, so you do not get boosted chances for summoning these champions. Plus, we have this guaranteed champion event, 40 ancient shards for the whole duration of the weekend, 3 days to get this new epic dark elf champion, Theresk. Yeah, she is the one that has this new debuff, which is an AoE decrease accuracy, which is quite a unique, of course, skill to have. It's on a very long cooldown though. 4-turn cooldown, AoE decrease accuracy, decrease resistance for 2 turns. For myself, in my opinion, this is not a champion worth going for with 40 ancient shards. Better to keep those for the times 2 ancient shard weekend that we will be having in a few weeks. And yeah, she does have a decent kit. It's not terrible. A multi-hit A1, which is a double hit, chance of increasing the duration of one random debuff by 1 turn. So not a crazy A1. A2 is a triple hitter, 3-turn cooldown without having it needed to be booked. Each hit has a 40% chance of removing one random buff from a target. This one's an okay single target A2. Triple hitter, chance to remove a buff. If you're lucky, you can remove 3 buffs from one target from just a single skill. That is okay, not an overpowered A2, because of course we have champions that do this on an AoE. This one is just single target. She also has this passive that will inflict 10% more damage against targets whose resistance is lower than this champion's accuracy. So of course you can lower the target's resistance with this A3 that decreases the resistance of the enemy. And she has this increased crit rate in all battles by 12%. So yeah, not really the most exciting decreased resistance champion, although it is of course a new debuff. But this is how we expected Plarium to go about this kind of skill. We expect them to introduce this new buff or debuff on some underwhelming champions, so that in the future they have some way to give us more exciting champions in the future. So yeah, so for this one, not really recommending for you to go for her. Yeah, and let's take a look at some of these ally protection champion. Let me just move myself to the other side here. We do have 1 Void Legendary and 1 Void Epic. Of course, for the Void Lego, that is Krisk. I think, personally, in my opinion, Krisk is the most desirable or most sought after Void Legendary in this whole game, even more so than Siphi. If you have Krisk, you would have a very easy time with the Hydra clan boss. That is how good he is. He will really bump up your damage regardless of which Hydra clan boss rotation that you have to beat for the week. If you have Krisk, it makes your life a lot easier. But of course, he is a Void legendary, very difficult to get. I don't have him myself. We also have these other ally protection champions that are really quite useful in different areas of the game. So yeah, let's talk about some of these champions. Of course, Chris, AoE in all of his skills, AoE decrease speed on his A1, and he brings an AoE provoke on his A2. So those are the two debuffs that he has on his kit. Decrease speed and provoke, both are very good at controlling your enemies. Of course, decrease speed is not your traditional CC kind of skill, but you can sort of think of it as a CC skill because of course they will move a lot slower, will give your champions more time to do their own thing. He also brings a lot of buffs: increased defense, increased speed, ally protection, and continuous heal. So he will really help all of your champions stay alive during the whole fight, reducing damage with ally protection, giving them more HP with the heals, increasing their defense, increasing their speed. Plus, at the start of each round, he will place a shield on everyone for 2 turns and has a chance to place decreased defense and decreased attack on the attacker for 1 turn when hit. Of course, he will most likely get hit a lot with this AoE provoke, so he will be placing that decreased defense and decreased attack a lot. So what makes him so good, he has a lot of the much needed debuffs in this game: decreased speed, decreased defense, decreased attack, has a CC, increased speed, increased defense, ally protection, continuous heal. So many buffs and debuffs in a single champion. That's what makes him so great. So yeah, if you do want to pull for this champion, you know, it's a Void legendary, so just 0.5% chance. Also, we are expecting a ×2 Void shard event coming soon. So it's up to you. But personally, I would not go for this ×10. And again, even though it's a ×10, your actual chances of getting a good, or getting the champion that you want from the ×10 is actually still very, very low. They should make this a ×20 or ×30 to give us a decent chance of getting these champions. All right, next one is Lugan. He is not a very popular champion, but he's actually quite useful, especially for Faction Wars. Has an AoE block active skills, 100% chance when booked on his A3. So this is the best part of his kit. It is on a long cooldown though, 4 turns, but if you make sure that you use this at the beginning of every turn, or I mean every round, then yeah, you can basically lock out your enemy for 2 turns. He also has this increased defense and ally protect on his A2, and he will heal all allies by 25% of the damage inflicted with his A1. So if you put him in Relentless, making sure he goes with a lot of turns, or if you bring someone that can give him counterattack to make sure that he does his A1 a lot, he will keep your entire team alive. He will also place a shield on himself. Yeah, so he's very good in Faction Wars, and of course this aura right here is excellent. So I think I don't have him, but if you do and you just put him in your Faction Wars team, pretty sure that he will keep your entire team alive, whichever stage you are in. So yeah, very good champion for Faction Wars. Next is Tyrant from the Demon Spawn. I've seen him in a lot of those clan boss teams that are non-unkillable clan boss teams that go for 100 turns or more, because everything in his kit keeps your entire team alive. He does have a nice aura for the clan boss, increases ally HP in all battles by 25%, and damage, or he will decrease the damage inflicted by enemies under HP burn by 10%. So of course, he places HP burn in his own kit, and HP burn is an excellent debuff to have up on the clan boss, and yeah, will help keep your entire team alive much longer with only his aura and his passive. His A1 will heal himself, larger heal if the champion or if the target is under HP burn. Has this AoE HP burn on his A2, 3-turn HP burn on a 3-turn cooldown. That's what makes him so great. Can also use this for the spider as well, and has an ally protection and increased defense on his A3. Again, great for the clan boss in keeping your entire team alive. So yeah, personally, I don't have this champion, but if you do happen to pull him, you might want to try him out in your clan boss team. Try to play around with him. He will really, with his entire kit, make your entire team last longer in that fight, even in a non-unkillable team. All right, next one is a champion that I recently pulled in a Sacred Shard just last weekend, Kyoku. Now I'm building her right now for Arena because she is great with this. She is the legendary version of Seeker because her passive, every time this champion is hit with a crit, heals all allies by 15% of their max HP. Similar to Seeker, but Seeker only heals his own self. This champion will heal everyone, plus places increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. This skill is of course more important in the arena because in PvE content, most of the bosses have their crit rate only at 15%, but in the arena, you're most likely going to go up with a nuker that will hit for 100% crit. So yeah, this is most definitely an arena passive right here. Will also help you if you're on a slower team that you're sure that you're going to get hit first. So this one will ensure that your team will stay alive. And when she finally gets her turn, she will place an ally protection on everyone, block damage on herself, then grants herself an extra turn, then goes into her A2 to land this AoE decrease attack, which will again keep your entire team alive. But if for some reason you already have decreased attack on the enemy, she will instead land HP burn instead, which is of course a nice alternative to that one. Plus her A1 is a triple hitter if there are 3 or more debuffs on the enemy with a chance to place weaken. So yeah, really great for arena. She also has an aura that will work well for a go second team in the arena. Increase ally defense in all battles by 30%. Really excited to try her out. Still trying to play around with teams to see which one would work for her. Trying to build a very high HP, high defense team that would last long and hopefully try to beat the other team even if we go second. All right. So yeah, those are the legendaries. I think all of these are quite good, particularly Chris, of course, and Kyoku. These other 2 right here are excellent in their own right, especially for Clan Boss and Faction Wars. But personally, since it's just a ×10 event, I will not recommend you to pull shards during this weekend unless of course you're spending a lot of money on this game and you have an abundance of shards. Then yeah, go ahead. But personally, if you're free to play or a beginner, save your shards for a ×2 event. All right, now for the epics, this is one of the newer ones, Andressia, a high elf epic defense champion. She will place ally protection at the start of each turn with the champion with the lowest max HP, and she has an AoE A3 that decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns. This can be a nice alternative to a Madam Series kind of buff removal, because most buffs will have a 2 to 3 turn or will stay on the champion for 2 to 3 turns. By decreasing the duration of those buffs by 2 turns, you can, of course, it's synonymous to a buff removal, but of course it's not as good as a Madam Series wherein she will also place decreased defense, decreased attack, and of course what if the buff is 3 turn or 4 turns. But yeah, this will also increase the duration of all increased defense buffs on all allies by 1 turn. And she has this nice A2 that places a stun, 100% chance when booked, placing a stun for 1 turn, but it will go up to 2 turns if the target does have any active buffs. This is a nice A1 single target, and her the nice A2, but her A1 just places a decreased crit damage, so not an exciting A1 right here. But I think her A2 and her A3 are quite useful for a lot of different areas in the game, particularly in arena. All right, let's go to the next one. Broodlord, really good. I think this guy, if you happen to pull him and you're in early or mid game and you're having a hard time in Faction Wars, he will really help you out in Faction Wars. He has this AoE that has a chance to play stun for 1 turn, but that goes up to 75%, 85% when booked to land that stun if the target is under decreased speed. He does place decreased speed on his kit, but it's on a weird thing with his passive. Whenever this champion is attacked or whenever allies under ally protection buffs are attacked, has a 30% chance, can be booked up to 45% chance of placing a decreased speed on the attacker for 2 turns. This is quite a nice passive to have for those longer fights. Of course, Something like an arena fight, I don't think this will have that much that much consistency. But for PvE, for faction wars, I think this will be quite useful. Uh, and of course, in faction wars, having a crowd control skill like this stun will definitely be very helpful. He also has this ally protection and block debuff, single target only, not AoE, and places a shield on himself for 2 turns. And he has this nice provoke on his A1, again, only if the champion is under decreased speed. But yeah, personally, I think he's great for faction wars, especially if you're having a hard time in the early to mid game. Next one is Kunoichi from the Shadowkin. She places an ally protection on all allies for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, then fills her turn meter by 50%. I think she's quite useful for, again, Shadowkin Faction Wars, which is open right now. So hopefully you have finished stage 21 already, which I do have on my account. It's not that difficult as long as you have been playing this game for quite a few months. You have Ninja, of course, that free legendary from the Shadowkin, and you have a few other epics like Toragi, Hotatsu, Burangiri. The Shadowkin Faction Wars is not that difficult to beat. Kunoichi here will definitely help you with this as well, with her A3 to keep her entire team alive. Also places an AoE leech on her A2, which will of course heal you back up each time you hit the enemy, and a weaken on her A1. She also plays a block damage on herself for 1 turn whenever her HP drops below 50%. So really a very good champion. And the Shadowkin faction does not have a lot of, let's say, the revivers, not a lot of reliable champions that can give you a revive. So having someone that places leech or someone that places ally protection can definitely help, of course, keep your entire team alive. And last one, of course, we have Sandlash, one of the older champions in this game, but really effective for arena because her passive places an ally protection buff on all allies for 2 turns whenever an ally's HP drops below 50%. Again, similar to Kyoku, if you're doing a go second team, a more defensive team, then she would be a good option for your team, and place a block damage on this champion for 1 turn. This one does not require her to get a turn before this will proc. So yeah, very good skill to have. If you combine her with Kyoku, with that increased defense plus the ally protection, will definitely, I think, will make your team very hard to kill. Her A1 and A2, not really very exciting. So for your arena team, she's really all about this passive right here to keep your entire team alive. And of course, if you want a nice aura to keep your defense up as well, increase ally defense in all battles by 25%. All right, so these are your ×10 champions. These are, of course, very good champions. But again, since this is just a ×10, we do have a summon rush. But I would still, especially if you're a free-to-play player or a beginner player, save your shards for a ×2 event. All right, and don't forget, we are also almost done with the current Fusion Champion Karato Fox Hunter. Only 2 days left, so make sure you have fused all of your epic champions. I do have them already. I'm just waiting on this one champion who is in the sparring pit right now for me to save up on Bruce. So I just left her in the sparring pit. She will be level 50 by tomorrow, and that gives me enough time to fuse this champion. So yes, 2 days left. This is not one of those champions that you can save, unlike a fragment summon that you can save for future champion chase events. You do have to fuse him within these 2 days or he will be gone forever. All right, so yeah, make sure you do that before the time runs out. All right, and again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're staying safe, staying healthy. I know that there's a lot of problems in the world right now, but hopefully you guys are doing okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video.